Well, because you can see it in the measures.
Yeah.
So like when we do matching and batching of drivers, it basically it's typically James, but there's also Ann. There's others that also
To what
do this
tolerance?
process. Well, it depends. We grade everything. So there's pass-fail tolerances, which is a pretty tight tolerance. Pass-fail is close to but not over 1 dB deviation throughout all the parameters, and then it's averaged. And then when we match so that like the top match is like a 0.2 dB deviation, which is totally inaudible.
0.2 dB
average deviation.
Average deviation, and this is matching drivers.
Yes.
The primary driver and
Yeah.
the tweeter.
And then on electrical parts, it's like
meaning the conductors and
conductors are we treat they're measured differently, but a capacitor or an inductor or a resistor, those are typically measured down to 0.1% deviation for a matched set, which is way overkill. But because we're on those, we match those at typically 250 units at a time. It's pretty easy to get some really high tight tolerances because you have a pretty big batch. So you have a batch that pass fails. So you take the pass, you get rid of the outliers. We may do something with the outliers, but it's not going to be a production run.
Mm-hmm.
And then we take the 90% cream that remains, and then from that we get matches out of that have passed a certain window. So, and that, but it pays off in when you're listening to